This is Colin Dixon with nScreen Media, and I'm at IBC 2022 speaking to Bill Scott from EaselTV. He is co-founder and COO of the company. And Bill, we've spoken to you many times. It's great to be back here to hear your sage words. You have a new product line, a new approach to dealing with customers, which I think is very interesting. So why don't we talk about that?
Yes, sure. And thank you, Colin. It's always great to talk to you. And it's nice to be back at IBC, actually, after a 3-year gap. So it's good to be here. So what we've been doing over the last couple of years is to completely re-architect our platform. We've been going since 2009. We've learnt a lot from a wide range of different customers with different use cases. And so we realised that there was an opportunity to do something quite different. And so we've built a completely data-driven platform that has a few really key concepts that underpin it. And the most important of those is what we call markets. And that is the ability for our clients to segment their audience into multiple market segments and to define business rules that create those segments. And then they're able to offer a completely different proposition to each of those segments through the use of we have themes which control the branding and the colors and so on, and then we have pages in the app, so you can define your own pages, and each page has its own theme and has its own background, and that then allows you to basically build a different app, all dynamically with no need for resubmission to the app stores. You build a different app for each segment that you want to target in a different way. And so some of the ways that you can use that are to identify people who are at risk of churning, perhaps, and in that case you've got perhaps a rule that says people watch more than 50 minutes of content in month 1, but less than 25 minutes of content in month 2. They may be at a risk of churning, and so you offer them something special, a special offer, some inducement, perhaps an outbound campaign that is trying to get them back into using the service. So that's just one example of how we can use the markets. Of course, there's the more traditional examples, if I can call them that are based on geography, perhaps, or gender, some demographic information. But we want to get much more sophisticated than that. And now that we've built this base sort of platform, we're able to rapidly add new rules as we think of them, or as our clients think of them.
Yeah.
And that was one of the key things about it. And then combining that with very flexible metadata, allowing our clients to define their own categorization, their own categories within that. So being able to use that in many, many different ways. It's ways of really sort of making content discovery relevant to that each market segment. We've got a very interesting way of dealing with contributors, as we call them. So this is maybe actors, directors, but of course that actors and directors, that works for some use cases, but not for all. And we've got a wide range of clients that are doing very different things, whether it's football teams or chefs and cooking schools and things like that. We needed to be able to dynamically define how our clients' content is going to be presented to the consumer.
Yep. And it seems very, very timely, right? One of the problems that we've had in the industry is we seem to be one-dimensional, right? We've had this obsession with single-payer SVOD systems. That seems to be changing now, at least from the point of view of ads. But it's very important to be able to differentiate between our customer bases, and so this seems perfectly timed to allow operators and providers now to really sharply differentiate between them, right?
Yes, absolutely. And obviously you may want to market different sets of content to different people, but you also want to perhaps, as you said, price it differently. Perhaps one segment of your audience is more in tune with an annual subscription, another one is more in tune with a monthly one, but you can offer both to everybody, of course. But maybe you want to experiment with different things. The whole idea of A/B testing is all very feasible with our market model, so that you can try different things to the same segment of the audience, but have a random split to push people into one market or another. And so it's we think it's hugely powerful, but it unlocks so many business opportunities for our clients because of this flexibility. They can experiment and measure and learn and refine and then do it again.
Yeah, and flexibility seems to be really important, right? One of the things that we know is the idea of fail fast is really important because you learn and you're able to optimize much more quickly that way. This really allows you to do that directly with your audience. Try new price points, try new approaches. One of the things that you said you were able to do when we were chatting before was you're actually able to identify people who might be at risk of churning.
Yes.
And target them in a really stealthy way, right?
Yeah. So I mean, the rules that I talked about with the minutes watched. So being able to just simply to say, well, who's watched more minutes more than 50 minutes in 1 month and more than less than 25 minutes in the second month. Those can be defined as either an absolute time frame, so January and February, or they can be defined as a relative time frame. So that's then a dynamic rule that is moving with the audience. So as the audience changes, you have a dynamic rule that is evolving with the audience.
Anything else? I mean, any other big announcements or anything you've noticed at the show? Distinctly different air to the show, much more focused on revenue these days, right?
Yes, I guess. Yeah, I think so. And I think that's a sign of a maturing industry, actually. And and some of the things that we're now making possible, we could have only dreamt about 5 or 10 years ago, or a little bit longer when we started. It was at the beginning, 2009. It was all right. Oh, just get a storefront up. Doesn't matter what it is. We're here. And now it's it is much more mature. We're getting much more sophisticated in understanding our customers and what they do, what they want, and the way that we deliver content to them. And I think that that kind of sophistication coming with a maturing industry, it's really exciting actually, given all of the different things that are possible now. And we hope we're at the forefront of that. And many years to come.
Great. Well, this has been a great conversation. I think we captured one of the most important things at this year's show. Bill, always a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you very much, Colin. It's great to see you.
This has been Colin Dixon with nScreenNoise.